Hello everyone. Today let us continue with the continuation of female reproductive system. Okay. So next organ is the uterine tube. So up to last class we have completed with uterus. So next organ is the uterine tube. It is otherwise called as fallopian tubes. So the uterine tubes are about nearly 10 centimeter in length and it extends from the sides of the uterus between the body and the fundus. So they lie in the upper free border of the broad ligament and they are trumpet shaped lateral end. So in the lateral end they will be having trumpet shaped ends. Okay. So penetrate the posterior wall, so opening into the peritoneal cavity. So this will open into the freely into peritoneal cavity close to the ovary. So this will lie nearer to the ovaries. So the end of each tube it will be having finger like projections which is called as fimbriae. Okay. So the longest of this fimbriae it is called as ovarian fimbriae. So which is in close association with the ovary. So which is very nearer to the ovary. So uterine tubes have an outer covering of peritoneum, a middle layer of smooth muscles and inner layer of ciliated epithelium where cilia helps in movement. So next is the functions of the uterine tubes. So the uterine tubes will convey the ovum to the ovary to the uterus by peristalsis and ciliary movement. Okay. So the main function is it will receive the ovum from the ovary and it will pass the ovum to the uterus by a movement called as peristalsis and ciliary movement. So the mucus secreted by the lining membrane provides ideal condition for the movement of the ovum and sperm. Fertilization of the ovum usually takes place in the fallopian tube or uterine tube and zygote is propelled into the uterus for implantation. Okay. So the sperm which is entered through the vagina will enter through the uterus and then it will reach the fallopian tubes or uterine tubes. The ovum which is released from the ovary will be caught by the uterine tubes or fimbriae and it will be propelled inside the fallopian tube. So where the fertilization, that is the fusion of the male and female gamete will occur and the zygote formed will be transported towards the uterus. Next, ovaries. So ovaries are the female organ or glands and they lie in the shallow fossa on the lateral walls of the pelvis. Okay. So they are nearly 2.5 centimeter to 3.5 centimeter long, 2 centimeter wide and 1 centimeter in thickness. Okay. So each ovary is attached to the upper part of the uterus by ovarian ligament and to the back of the broad ligament by broad band of the tissues called as mesovarium. Okay. So coming to structure, so ovaries it has two layers of tissue, the medulla and cortex. So medulla this lies in the center and it consists of fibrous tissue, blood vessels and nerves. So medulla is the center region. And cortex, so this will surrounds the medulla. So it has a framework of connective tissue that is called as stroma. So covering by the germinal epithelium. So this is covered by germinal epithelium. So it contains the ovarian follicles in various stages of maturity. Okay. So the follicles in a various mature stage, each of which contains one ovum. So before puberty or maturity, so the ovaries are inactive but the stroma is already contained immature or follicles which has the female from the birth. So during the childbearing years, about nearly every 28 days, one ovarian follicle or Graafian follicle will mature, ruptures and releases the ovum into the peritoneal cavity. So this process is called as ovulation and it occurs mostly during the menstrual cycles. Okay, nearly the 28 days it is called as menstrual cycle and this will occur in each menstrual cycle. So coming to functions of the ovaries, so maturation of the follicle, it is stimulated by the follicle stimulating hormone secreted from the anterior pituitary and estrogen secreted from the follicle lining cells. Okay. So ovulation is triggered by release or surge of luteinizing hormone from the anterior pituitary which occurs a few hours before ovulation. So after ovulation, the follicle lining cells develop the corpus luteum, that is yellow body, under the influence of luteinizing hormone from the anterior pituitary. Okay. So after the release of ovum, the follicle cells will develop into corpus luteum. So the corpus luteum will produce a sum of hormone called as progesterone and some estrogen. Okay. So if the ovum is fertilized, it embeds itself in the wall of the uterus where it grows and develops and produces the hormone called as human chorionic gonadotrophin, that is called as HCG hormone, which stimulates the corpus luteum to continue the production of progesterone and estrogen for the first 3 months of the pregnancy. Then after the 3 months, the placenta will start to secrete this progesterone and estrogen. Okay, so just be clear. So after releasing of the ovum, the the follicle will be turned into, it is called as corpus luteum. So this corpus luteum will start to secrete the hormone progesterone and estrogen. Okay, so after if the fertilization of ovum occurs, okay, if the ovum is fertilized, it will go and embeds in the uterus, and this will initiate this corpus luteum again and again to secrete this progesterone and estrogen for the first 3 months of the pregnancy. And after that, what will happen means the placenta itself will start to secrete the hormone progesterone and estrogen. Okay, if the ovum is not fertilized, this is occur in case of ovum is fertilized. If the ovum is not fertilized, the corpus luteum will regenerate itself, and then a new cycle will begin with the new menstruation. At this site, the degenerated corpus luteum, it is an inactive mass of fibrous tissue. This forms a structure called as corpus albicans. So sometimes more than one follicle matures at a time, releasing 2 or more ova in the same cycle. When this happens, the ova are fertilized, it will result in multiple pregnancy, that is triplets, twins, or quadrets, etc. Okay. Next is the hypothalamus. So this is the structural diagrammatic explanation. So hypothalamus, it will secrete, or it will induce the secretion of luteinizing hormone, releasing hormone. So this hormone will stimulate your anterior pituitary to secrete follicle stimulating hormone as well as luteinizing hormone. So this follicle stimulating hormone, what it will do? It will cause the ovarian follicle to secrete estrogen. This luteinizing hormone will stimulate this corpus luteum to secrete progesterone. Okay, so next is the puberty or maturity in females. Okay, so puberty is the age at which internal organs, that is reproductive organs, reach its maturity. Okay, so until a stage of maturity, it is in an immature stage. So when it is completely grown and ready for reproduction, that stage it is called as puberty. So this is called as menarche, that is occurrence of the first menstrual cycle. This is called as menarche and marks the beginning of the childbearing period. So the ovaries are stimulated by the gonadotrophins from the anterior pituitary, follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. So the age of puberty will vary between 10 and 14 years, and a number of physical and psychological changes will take place during this time. So first thing is the uterus, uterine tubes and ovaries will reach a matured stage. The menstrual cycle and ovulation will begin. It is called as menarche. The breast will develop and start to enlarge in its size. The pubic and axillary hair begins to grow. There is an increase in rate of growth of height and widening of the pelvis. Okay, there will be increase in growth of the girl, and there will be widening of the pelvic region of the hip region will be widened. There is an increase in amount of fat deposition in the subcutaneous tissues, especially in the hips and the breast. Okay, there will be increased fat deposition. So this is the diagrammatic or summary of the stages development of the ovum and associated hormone. So here the primary follicle in every ovum contain ovum. So this is immature ovum. After release of follicle stimulating hormone from the anterior pituitary, the follicle will start to mature. Then after the luteinizing hormone is released, it will cause ovulation, the process where ovum is released. Okay. So this ovum will be converted into, this follicle will be converted into corpus luteum. Okay. So this corpus luteum will secrete the progesterone and some of the estrogen which support and any subsequent pregnancy. Okay. So next, secrete the human HCG will increase the corpus luteum to secrete more and more progesterone. Okay. Now what will happen to this ovum means, if the ovum is fertilized, so it will embed on the uterine walls and it is a confirmed pregnancy, and this will secrete the hormone HCG. Again this will initiates the corpus luteum to secrete progesterone and estrogen. If the ovum is not fertilized, so menstruation occur and new menstrual cycle will begin. Okay, so this is how normal ovulation and the process will occurs. Okay, so remaining we can see in the next class. Take care. Bye bye.